welcome to Platteville Fantasy Podcast Show for week number 8. I'm Alan Highland, your host, and behind the glass is the real POD producer, Mitch Pritchard. It was a fun week this week, for most, not everybody, but anyway, to get down to it, here we go. Just like to start off with uh, I think the apocalypse may have happened. Jordan made his second and third move of the year, and he's moving right on up the scale. So I'll get to that later. But I think we're in some kind of an after world or afterlife or something like that. I don't know, but that's pretty crazy. Austin had his kid, so congratulations to him. Elijah, I think. Um, and the Brewers rock. So there's my opening comments. But to get right down to it, so Mitch, the all-inclusive producer, made a cool little animation for us here. So I'm going to talk about the standings real quick. Not a lot of big changes in the standings. Like the top two remain the same and the bottom three remain the same. There's a little flip-flop at the 3 and 4, but I want you to notice the big changes was Kyle's moving down down 4 spots, while Fred moved up 4 spots. So those are the big movements. Everyone else moved like 1 or 2, so no big changes there. Mostly relative to how Kyle and Fred passed him up, but Kyle's more is getting in line more with his horrible stats, so he'll be joining other people later, and I'll get to that with the stats. But kind of a cool animation. More will come with the podcast as we open up the production vault. But anyway, pretty cool little animation though. You can see fun stuff going on there. But nice job, Mitch, on that. Moving on to just the matchups. I'm going to talk about the matchups. I'm going to try to keep it real quick. My last podcast went really really long, but here you go. So here's the matchups of week 8. Starting off with the matchup between me and the High Supreme Chancellor, the creme de la creme of the league right now, and that's Bunker. Bunker had a good week. That's pretty much all I can say about that. I had a decent week, but his guys just went off. Curtis Granderson had 10 runs by himself, batted .417. Bunker is a machine right now, so that's all I have to say about that. Going on, it's kind of a rivalry week with a lot of people. Me versus Bunker, that's a pretty good rivalry. Here's one, Bill versus Jason, the Black Diesel versus the Colonels. This one was a pretty good matchup. I think pitching could have went either way. The batting seemed either way it could have gone. It could have been a either way battle there. But Bill, you survived your Sunday horrors or whatever that you have, and you took that victory. Another little rivalry, like an in-house rivalry. John versus Alyssa. This one ended up with a tie. It's like kissing your sister there, but anyway. This one was a battle of Alyssa's batting versus John Mann's pitching, and one of them took each other's category, so that was kind of a fun little matchup. Here's another rivalry, Big Papa, Brian versus Kyle. I think your old roommate, right? This one, what's my note on that one? Kyle, you were not good. That's what I wrote down. Yeah, and it looks like you were not good. So, Brian, I think you could have done anything you could. You had a decent week, but you didn't really need to have that decent of a week. Kyle just did not have a very good week, and showed as he dropped down 4 ranks in the old chart. Here's a big rivalry. Not really. I don't even know if Paul and Marcus know each other, but the Paul versus Marcus matchup. That one was really kind of one-sided when it came to like average. Paul, you just did not have a very good week, and Marcus, man, you bet 331. Attaboy. That one wound up being 8-4, went to Marcus. So Paulo not looking good in that one. Oh, here's a bit of a rivalry. I think this is a pretty good rivalry. Mitch versus Fred. This one was pretty good. Oh, this one was a good matchup. Mitch, you didn't have a very good week. Fred had a pretty good week, but the real big thing here was 10 home runs each. think you guys got kind of screwed in who you were playing this week, but wow, 10 home runs. That's a pretty good week power-wise. Made you hit 10 home runs, but only had a 691 OPS. That's kind of crazy. You must have hit horribly. You just hit home runs, I guess, this week. But anywho, moving on to my first look at the Who Cares matchup of the week, which was actually a really good matchup. Both Dan Burr and Pete had good weeks. Both batted 300, both had sub 4 ERAs. Yeah, just good week. Pete pulled off the victory in that one. Sorry, Dan Burr, you probably should have won this week, but bottom feeder Pete, you got to win. You should have beat him to help your cause of getting out of the worst record of all time. But I guess Pete doesn't want that record, so you know. And then moving on to the matchup of the week. The matchup of the week was Jameson versus Jordan, which kind of a fun little rivalry there. Here's a battle of an up and coming team in Jordan and top team in Jameson. Not that great of a week stats wise for both of you guys, but this one was kind of an even matchup here. Nothing too crazy to look at. Not the greatest weeks for either one of you, but yeah, that was a good matchup. Lived up to the hype. Another tie in this league, but yeah, here's your matchup of the week, and who cares matchup of last week. Moving on to stats, my favorite part. So, stats of the week. And the stats were pretty good. So, doing what I'll do from now on throughout the weeks. I'll start off with who was batting cleanup for the week. Who had the best hitting week, and that would go to Bunker. Bunker by far had the best hitters of the week. So kudos to you, Bunker. Another great week for you. Don't worry, we'll be coming from you. It's still early in the season. I know it's kind of getting closer. Memorial Day is probably pushing it now, but we're coming for you. I'm going to call this next one, who's batting ninth? Who's either the pitcher or the guy who's throwing ninth? Who batted ninth of the week? And that's you, Apollo. Not so good this week, but he probably bounced back, but not a good week for you. Other than stolen bases, you kind of sucked. Also noting there, I got a note here, Jai, you were bad too. It's just Apollo's worse. Who was pitching there? Terminator. That was also Bunker. So way to go, Bunker, taking both those. Yeah, domination in wins and Ks. You were the best on both of those. Who was pitching there? See you later. That was kind of a big. A lot of people didn't pitch very well, or there was a tie. Tie between me, Paulo, and Jordan. We all had bad weeks. Danber was really close, so I'll throw you in there too. Just bad pitching weeks for all of us, but having ties like that kind of maybe means that it was kind of a relatively good pitching week, or everyone was bad. But either way, we were bad. Horrible. So the stud of the week this week, you could probably guess it was Bunker, being both bad cleanup and pitching that Terminator, but his stats were pretty good. Actually, looking at the numbers, he had a 39 rank. So, like I said before, you want the lowest score you can. He had 39. Coming in at second for the week was a 74. So that's a huge difference. Bunker is way ahead of everyone this week. Pretty good job. The dud of the week was, you can probably guess this one, he batted ninth and tied for the see you later. Paulo, you did not have a very good week this week, so but you didn't have the worst week win-loss wise. That went to this guy here, so got away with one there. Yeah, so moving on to the got away with one or who got screwed. So the got away with one were all the people that tied. Jordan versus Jameson, Alyssa versus Ja. You guys should have all lost. Your stats were all in the bottom part. You should not have tied. You just lucked out and you were playing each other. Got some ties, so you lucked out, all four of you guys. Some a little bit more than others, but either way, all four of you should not have tied. You should have all lost. But who got screwed? Here's where Mitch can cue the crying sound effect and put some tears in the eyes, but this guy got screwed big time. According to adjusted win-loss, I should have had like an 8-4 record. I did steal a category from Bunker according to win-loss. He should have went 12-0 this week, but I got one from him. Yay for me. But anyway, yeah, I should have been 1-11. That's not good. I I got some digging to get out. I don't know. I got a hole to climb out of. I dug the hole already, I guess. But I got a long way to go to make the playoffs. But anyway, Bunker's far. Just looking at the stats from here from Memorial Day, it's starting to kind of pull each other away. So just looking at the yearly stats, how they're looking, yearly stats and yearly adjusted win losses. Uh, yeah, so it's kind of pulling away. People are getting into categories now, like where are they sitting? And there's like the top guys, and there's a huge middle chunk which everyone's stats are kind of like relatively the same. And there's a bottom chunk where you guys just suck. Like you got to do something with your team or something like that, but you guys are bad. Guess who is on there? But those guys in the bottom that are pretty bad are in this order. Pete, you suck. You won this week. You had a good week, so maybe something's turning around. But you have really bad stats, and the guys that are joining you are Bill and Kyle to round that off the bottom, but also Jason, not so good stats. So those you guys are in this category below where you have a really high ranking, uh, and you're far away from that middle chunk. So you guys are bad, real bad. Looks like Bill's climbing out of it slowly from the numbers, but you're still in the bad chunk. Everyone else is in the middle, and then there's this top echelon. Actually, there's one echelon. There's like a category all by itself, and that's Bunker, way ahead of everyone. Then you move down to this next top three category, and that's Jameson and Brian, who are tied with a 77 points. Bunker's at 50, so you can see that big difference. But then me at 78, so there's that little echelon there. Uh, so those are those stats. Which should tell you that these teams are all doing well, and it does seem like that, except for one exception. Exception. Go ahead, cue the cry music again, Mitch. But anyway, yeah, everyone it's looking pretty good. Stats wise, yeah, there's nothing too crazy out there, but yeah, that was that. Oh, now matchup of the week and the Who Cares game of the week. Real quick for you. My matchup of the week is going to go to the Mr. King of the League right now and reigning King of the League, Bunker, versus an upcomer, which is crazy. Jordan, who's trying to make a playoff run here, making trades, doing adding and dropping. But that's crazy. So that's the match of the week: Bunker versus Jordan. So the 1 versus the 8, and then the Who Cares week or matchup of the week is again. I should just rename this the Pete category of the week. I wasn't gonna pick Pete this week because he had a good week last week, but this is what it's gonna be. It's Pete versus Mitch, the real POD producer. Uh, yeah, you got 16 versus 12. Had to pick that. Who cares about that matchup? Mitch, you should probably run away with that. Just looking at this, but anyway. Uh, so for closing comments, yeah, Brewers are awesome. Go Brewers. Cubs suck. Who else do people like? Oh, Braves are probably pretty good, Jason. But anyway, all that matters is Brewers are awesome. Cubs suck. Boom. Uh, but Bill, you held on. You didn't lose it on Sunday. I want another kudos out to that one. Anna, thanks for watching. That was that's a surprise watcher right there. So thank you. Brian, Salas sucks. He's getting saves barely, so he's gonna be out of that closer role in no time. I'm gonna enjoy my high life. So yeah, that's this podcast for this week. Actually, I'm going to be working on a couple little things things for production. Maybe they will be in this one. I don't know. Got this one done. Happy Memorial Day. Hope some of you are barbecuing. Hope the brewers take care of business today. And yeah, uh, having fun with this. Looks like it. Adios. Ooh, wait, for the adios. This is Bob Ukulele. I don't know if I've shown you it, but it's pretty cool. Like, little guy.